Hello and welcome to Acoustic Review. My name is Ben Morgan Brown and today I'm looking at the 1942 Banner J45 from the Inspired by Gibson Custom range from Epiphone guitars. Using the classic round-shouldered dreadnought body size, this guitar features a thermally aged solid spruce top and solid mahogany back and sides. The V-profile neck is made from a single piece of mahogany and topped with a laurel fingerboard with a 24.75 inch scale length and a 1.73 inch nut width. With scalloped X bracing on the inside and a VOS polyurethane finish on the outside, the 1942 Banner J45 ships with an LR Baggs VTC pickup and preamp and has an Epiphone hardcase and has an RRP of £1,199. So let's have another listen to the J45 now, and then please join me afterwards for my thoughts. I find it hard to believe that any player wouldn't have a smile on their face when opening the case on this guitar. The classic Sunburst J45 is one of the iconic guitars when it comes to acoustics, and this version ticks all the boxes visually. It's got a great sunburst, the open book style headstock and vintage style tuners are right on pitch. It's just a great looking instrument. Although it's obviously not vintage accurate, I like the inclusion of the Banner logo on the headstock with the wording changed to Inspired by Gibson Custom. I think it strikes the balance between not trying to pass itself off as an original, but also being from the same lineage very well. Going over the guitar, it is very well made. Admittedly, it's slightly on the heavy side of what I would expect from a vintage style J45, and the pickguard placement looks a little bit off to me, but the workmanship is very good throughout, with good fretwork, clean joins, and a well applied, if slightly thick in places, finish. Hit an open G chord on this guitar and you feel right at home. It's balanced, dry and crisp tone that immediately makes you want to strum through some of your favourite tunes. Compared to some of the best J45s I've played, it lacks a bit of growl and thump in the low end, the mid-range is perhaps not as woody, and the high end is a bit more ringy, but again it's certainly in the same family tone-wise, and as an all-solid instrument I would expect it to develop a looser tone as it's played in. As well as strumming, folk and blues fingerpicking sound really good on this guitar, and I'd say that they are more authentic sounding in some ways than the strumming sound. That earthy mid-range I'd expect seems to be more present, and those Jackson Browne, James Taylor tones seem to me to be very much available. The LR Baggs VTC element pickup is one of the better undersaddles I've found, with less of the ear-poking quack of some of its rivals. Through a small acoustic amp, I felt it had a more than usable tone, although I did think the string balance was a bit biased towards the low strings. That could be a deliberate EQ choice, but I'd wager a quick inspection might reveal that the pickup is not quite sitting flat in the saddle. Moving on to playability, I love the neck on this guitar. The soft V and full shoulders are exactly the sort of profile I like, palm-filling and comfortable. I wish more guitars came with a neck like this. I admit that a lot of players do prefer the slimmer C-style necks, but if you do prefer something less thin, you owe it to yourself to give this guitar a play. The setup is also very good. It's got a nice easy playing feel to it, and I immediately felt at home and that I wouldn't have to adapt my playing style at all to use this guitar. Obviously these things are quite personal, but as someone who has played a lot of guitars, it's nice to find one that just sits in the hand like an old friend. Looking at the current market, £1,199 for an all-solid wood guitar with a pickup and a hard case and from a heritage brand seems about right. From my research, it doesn't seem that there's too many offering a thermally aged top at this price point either, so overall I'd say it's a fair price currently. I've been impressed by this guitar. It certainly looks the part, it's got a fantastic neck on it, the sound is certainly in the right ballpark, the pickup is pretty good, and it's less than half the price of the Gibson version. Okay, it doesn't have the prestige of the original, but I really think that Epiphone have knocked it out of the park with this guitar. Well done to them. I hope you've enjoyed this video from Acoustic Review. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon to be kept up to date when we post new videos, and I look forward to seeing you next time.